Justin Hubbard, Ash White, Adelaide. How are you, bud?
Yes, I'm good. I'm good here in New Brighton, in the Wirral, just near Liverpool, speaking to you all the way over there. Different time of it's morning here. It's Friday morning to you. It's Friday night over there in Adelaide. How are you doing?
Yeah, good, buddy. Good. Yeah, it's just gone 8 o'clock p.m. So the AFL's on the footy. I think there's a couple of clubs playing. It might be Essendon and St Kilda tonight. So they're all dead rubbers anyway. They're the bottom. I think we've got 18 teams in there now. It's quite a big stack for a national comp for us. So, most states have, I think we've touched base on it before, roughly two, but Victoria might have 8 teams, you know what I mean? That used to be the VFL, now it's the AFL, but no, all good. Friday night, big week, lots of doors fitted this week and up and down scaffold, and yeah, by Friday night I've had enough. I've been working Saturdays as well, just with, I help a couple of local tilers out up this way that still need 10 mil shower screens fitted, and it's hard to get blokes these days to do it. All the young blokes want to sell phones and wear nice clothes, which I can't blame them, but it seems to be us old blokes still doing all the heavy lifting, but no, it keeps us going, mate, keeps us moving, keeps us fit, so.
Yeah, been a busy week here too. So yeah, it's Friday morning here in the UK. I'm on the coffee. It's Friday evening. You're probably on the beer.
Yeah, there's a beer there, but I did show you the coffee mug just a while ago. We got the Aussie Ashman one there, so I'll have to try to get a few over on the pace for you. So yeah, no, it's I think we got 2 weeks of winter left, and then we're into spring. So you get all the footy finals starting there. It's about a 5-week cycle, and then October comes, you get Bathurst, which is it's about a good 6.5 hour car race at Mount Panorama. And yeah, generally have a Ford and a Holden or a Chevy and a Ford that go around. And no, it's good. It's good. Good time of year. There's people out cutting lawns, and you got the nice smell of new lawns being cut and birds whistling, and that's a good time. It's a good time leading up to Christmas, sort of this last bit. So.
Well, summer here. It's the British summers are very much. You just don't know what you're going to get. You know what to wear from one day to the next, really. But you do get some nice blasts of sunshine. That's what it's like at the moment. It's been the last couple of days. This week actually, it's been very hot. This week, mid-August. It's going to be at the moment. It's about 20 degrees, 21 degrees. It feels hotter, to be honest with you. This weekend, it says it's going to get up to about 25, 26 degrees, but it feels hotter. It's mad in different countries how heat hits differently, doesn't it? But we don't get blessed with loads of gorgeous sunny hot days. So when we do, it seems to hit harder. But it's great. It's midsummer. I'm wearing t-shirt and shorts. Looking forward to the weekend ahead. It'll soon be Friday night over here as well. We'll be, having a great one.
Are you watching the soccer tonight, the footy?
So, it's we'll fill the guys in, isn't it? I mean, our podcast, the first one we did was, we talked a lot about the food and comparing Adelaide to the UK, to New Brighton, the Wirral. We were talking about all our food and drink and going out and what it's like, how different it is. But we're going to talk a bit more about sport this time, aren't we? We're going to talk about the sport. Quite right, it's soccer, as you call it. Soccer's big over here. That's our biggest sport, really. It is indeed. It's a new season starting. Liverpool are playing tonight. They kick off against Bournemouth. Liverpool were the champions, and where I'm from, it's very much Liverpool or Everton. The local teams for the Wirral's Tranmere, actually, which is a lower division team. But Liverpool, as you know, a massive, global, huge. So that's the big thing. There's a lot of rivalry and banter with like some Man United. It's ruthless. So it's a new football season. We call it football. So looking forward to that start, and it's going to be Liverpool are favourites because they won the league last season. They bought some big players, but could be Liverpool, could be Man City, it could be Arsenal, could even be Chelsea potentially. So, yeah, it's all starting tonight. The football, the soccer.
Did you say they're playing away or are they at Anfield?
Good question. I'm not sure. I think they might be at home against Bournemouth, but they're playing Bournemouth. Yeah.
You're right, and they're a black and red stripe, are they?
Yeah, Bournemouth. They're actually from the south coast, right from the south coast of the UK, which is it's a good few hours, a good few hours drive. But the UK compared to Australia, just down just down the road, a few hours for you.
That's good. Well, you always look for a win on round one, don't you? You always get a bit sad if you don't get a win or a draw or.
Yeah, you got to start well, mate. You got to start well. And it's always interesting to compare, with different countries of sports. And it's so if we're talking about, soccer, football, who are your big? So remind us again. I know I've spoken to you before, but the listeners, the viewers might not be aware. So you're from Adelaide. Who's your big team over there, Ash? And who do you support?
Well, as you know, Mandy Barrett's for the Port Power, so there's Port Adelaide, and there's also the Adelaide Crows, so it's sort of like Liverpool and Everton sort of thing. As you know, on the train, Mandy was watching the finals last year coming over to you. This year they finished in the bottom 16. They didn't do too well at all. They had lots of injuries, and this year the Crows are top actually. So they finished. Well, there's still 2 games to go, and they're 1 game clear. So they can lose. They can afford to lose 1, maybe 2. But you don't want to start losing now. You're starting to get into that. They have a week off generally before finals start, and it's about a 5-week finals. One plays 8, one plays 4, 5 plays 8, and then you get the in-between games, and then they slowly diminish away to 2. And then you have the last weekend of September is the grand final, or the first week of October. And it's just a one-match game. Whoever wins, and you're the premier for the year. And then it starts again in March, and the AFL, which is like your
Premier League.
Yeah, that really is the big one. I know we both play cricket. You've got the Ashes coming up here just before Christmas. I think they start here, so Andy Smith's pretty keen to get out to the Adelaide Oval and barrack for England to smash the Aussies. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes, but. The footy, the AFL, just quickly for the Liverpool people that don't know much about it, there are 18 teams. I did spend a bit of time earlier in the week for you just to run you quickly down the teams. There's Collingwood, Brisbane, Adelaide, Geelong, Hawthorn, GWS, Fremantle, Gold Coast, Bulldogs, Sydney Swans, Port Adelaide, Carlton, Melbourne, Essendon, St Kilda, Richmond, North Melbourne, and West Coast that are in Perth. So that's a fair mouthful. That's 18. That's 18 that sort of back up pretty well every week. There's a bye somewhere that everyone gets, 1 week off, and generally there's a week off just prior to the finals starting. So at the end of not next week, week after, they'll have a week off, and then they'll start the 5-week finals.
So who's the best teams at the moment? What's the league table looking like? Who's where?
We've got Adelaide top. So Adelaide haven't won a premiership since 1998. They won 2 back-to-back in 97, 98, and they haven't won a thing since. Port Adelaide won in 2004. And then they had another chance, might have been around 2015, but that one didn't come off. So they're pretty hard to win. But at the moment, Adelaide's up there. The actual lineup, I should be able to give that to you, actually. That's pretty close here now. I've been doing the studio up quite a bit in the last month just to try to get it ready for this sort of stuff to continue. I've been a bit lean lately just with my other work being so busy. But once again, just to do this one, as we know, like it's 15,000 miles away. If you don't get it right, it's pretty ugly on the phone. If the broadcast isn't good, and it can be pretty ugly, can't it? So, but at the moment, Adelaide won, which is the Adelaide team. You got Geelong, which is Victorian, Collingwood, Victorian, Fremantle, which is Perth, Brisbane 5, Gold Coast 6, which is on the Sunshine Coast up that way, Hawthorn 7, which is another Victorian club, and GWS is Greater Western Sydney. So there's a bit of a mix there this year with, there's always Victorian teams in there, but you've also generally get probably at least one team from each state sort of gets into that top 8. And top 8 is the finals when it starts. That's that 5-week.
Oh, so if Adelaide finished top of the league, they haven't won the league. They go into this big, like, top 8 playoff thing.
Yep.
Oh, right. So you could finish top, but then you've got to still play to see who wins the grand thing in the last 8.
Yeah, you've still got to keep winning. That's the key. If you finish top 2, or top 2, you get 2 home finals, so you're guaranteed that you got the Liverpool crowd behind you if you win. You know what I mean?
I see.
If Adelaide wins this first game, I think they either get a week off and then go to another final. So you get all the Berts up top. If you finish top 4, better than finishing top 8. So 5 to 8, generally, most of those guys generally disappear week by week. You might have one team that might get through from 6, and they might only make it to the prelim, or they might, not very often, but sometimes they get right through and win it. But if you're top 4, you've got a good chance of getting to the grand final.
So obviously, soccer is clearly the biggest sport here in the UK. What people are just go nuts about. What would you say is the biggest sport out there? I mean, soccer isn't the biggest, is it?
No, even though there's a Champions League here, which I did write that one up for you as well. It's called A-League over here. And it's Australian, New Zealand, like it's over the ditch, so it's it's only 4 hours across. So you've got once again Auckland, Melbourne, Western United, Western Sydney Wanderers, Melbourne, Adelaide, Sydney Footy Club, Macarthur, which would be a Kiwi team, Newcastle, Central Coast, Wellington, which would be a New Zealand team, Brisbane and Perth Glory. So once again, you've still got quite a good mix. It's nowhere near the Premier League over where you guys are, but every now and then you might get one or two from Australia go over and get picked up each year by somebody. And so, but to answer your question, with the biggest sport after AFL would be cricket. So there's a national or a state league cricket that's in the summer months over here, of course. And they play right through, and then you get the 2020 games that get mixed in with there as well. So no, cricket would be second, absolutely.
But Aussie rules football first.
Yes.
Now I know we've talked about this on my radio show and that before when you were over here visiting. But for people listening for the first time, it's an interesting one. The Aussie rules football. So, what the hell is it? I mean, like for me, watching it when it used to be on TV when I was a kid on a Sunday morning, and I used to watch it. So I'd watch the soccer, and then Aussie rules football was on. Like they had a little highlights show, and I was trying to understand it. I'm like, it's a bit like rugby? Is it a bit like Gaelic football? The rules.
I think it's close.
No matter how many times I watch it, the rules just escape me. I don't know how it works.
I think it escapes the umpires most weeks as well. Look, to make it real easy, you got 4 posts, You got 2 big posts and 2 little posts. If you go through the big post, you get 6 points. If you miss to the side, each side of the big post is a smaller post either side. That's 1 post, 1 point. So whoever scores the most, and generally most games, the winner would probably get 100 points, and probably the loser might get 60. But then you can get games that win by 1, or you can get a draw. You can get 102 to 102. So all you got to do is keep adding up your goals, which is 6 points, and then your misses are a 1 point. But you could be like, let's keep it simple. You could be 10 goals won, which would be 61 points, and then the other team could have, let's say, 8 goals, 8 goals 13, or 8 goals 14, and win by a point. So you don't have to have exactly the same goals to points. It's the total score at the end that'll win. So they do a bounce up in the middle, they tap it, you're allowed to run 10, 15 metres without bouncing it. If you run too far, then they'll call the whistle and you'll be done for running too far. You can tackle, you can jump up and mark up someone's back. If you don't mark it, then you might lose it for a free for infringing on the other player. So there's a lot of little ticky-tack rules with it, but it's fun. It's really, they're all athletes now. They're not as good as kicking like the old boys used to be, and they'd kick 100 goals a season, some of these, full forwards. But these days, I think it's called the Coleman Medal. Whoever gets the most goals for the year gets a trophy at the end of the year, sort of thing. And these days they probably kick 80 goals. They don't get up near the 100 anymore.
Yeah. So you
yeah,
can run with the ball. You can, after 10 meters, whatever, you've got to bounce it. So that's why you see them bounce it. So anyone can just tackle you and just basically just smash you to the ground.
Yes.
So you can run and you can bounce it, but you can get smashed. But then, like rugby, have you got to throw it forward to it? Have you got to throw it to the side to a player? Have you got to throw it back to your player? Can you just throw it to your player wherever they are?
You can go 360, so you can run whatever you want to. That's the difference. With rugby, you've got to always throw backwards or whatever. Forward pass, they blow the whistle and you've got to stop again, or the opposition gets the ball, you know what I mean? But with the footy, your only encumbrance is you can't run too far. That's, as you said, why you got to bounce or handball it off or whatever. So if you get the ball, you can't just run from one side of the field to the other side of the field without bouncing. So they call that travel or running too fast, something like that.
But you can throw the ball to your player wherever they are.
You can hand pass it only. You can't throw it. You can knock it, but you've got to hand pass it.
Knock it.
Yeah, you just with an open hand and you hit it on the bottom, and then you get done for throwing. If you throw it, it's a penalty. So the other people get the ball and they control it going forward to try to kick their goals.
Yeah.
So there are quite a lot of little rules in there.
And can you score? To score the goal, you got to kick it.
Yes, it's got to come off your foot. Can't hit your knee. It's got to be from your sort of shin, ankle, boot down. That's it.
I see.
So you can't throw a goal. You got to kick it.
Got you. Okay. Oh, it makes more sense now. So people go crazy about it. Do they still have fights in the games and stuff? The players fight each other?
What they did was they put big fines on it so that the club or even individuals could get fined, say 15 grand for a melee. So the boys aren't as keen to throw the fists around like they used to. Our sort of era back then, they'd be fighting all the time, and they've tried to get away. Like most sports now, if you impact the head, they're way off that now. You touch the head, you get 4 or 5 weeks, cancelled out from playing. So that they're trying to take that right out of the game because, more and more are getting sued because they've all got brain damage and all that sort of gear. So, and it's probably better for the game.
So with the Aussie rules football, with the AFL, who's the top teams at the moment, and who do you support again, Ash?
The Adelaide Crows.
Oh, the Crows. Okay, yeah, you
And
said them. Yeah,
the Crows are top, but you've got Collingwood and you've got Hawthorn, you've got Geelong. There's a lot of good Victorians. They are very hard players and they're very good at it. They've done it for a long, long time. But the Crows are looking good. They're probably a good chance to prelim, which is the one before grand final or grand final, and because they look like they're going to finish top. They've probably got a good chance of at least getting to the grand final, but you want to win them. You don't want to lose them. It's a bitter taste in your mouth if you lose it. You got to win.
you have a lot of rivalry. So who are your big rivals?
In Adelaide, it would be Port Adelaide, so they don't see eye to eye at all. They're both birds. One's a magpie and one's a crow, and they're chalk and cheese, mate. They don't like each other. It'll be like Wembley and Everton. It's Liverpool and Everton. It's the same thing. You've got two siblings fighting for Liverpool, and we've got the same thing in Adelaide. You hate that other team. You don't care whether they win or lose or even if they exist. It's fairly good. You put your colours on and you play.
Yeah. So obviously, AFL people are crazy for it out there. You mentioned obviously cricket, so the Ashes are coming up. I'll be honest. I mean, I don't watch a lot of cricket, but you guys are crazy for that. So, the Ashes,
especially the Ashes,
England versus Australia. So, as I say, I used to watch a bit of cricket and play a little bit when I was a kid, but I don't really follow it anymore. I haven't followed it for many years. So, am I right in saying Australia normally smash England at the Ashes? Is that normally the case?
No, not at all. It's I know they won the last one, but in the end, it was a real fight whether they were going to get over in the last game. And I don't know whether it was in Edgbaston or I can't remember where the last game was played, but they were lucky really to get away with it. So, uh, you know, I think the Aussies at the moment are in India with a short game over there. But I know England just had a test not long ago against the West Indies, I reckon. So they might be in reasonable form when they get here. The Aussies will be coming from a dry track over in India or wherever they're playing. I think it's India where they're doing it now, but you never know. It's 5 days of cricket all in a row, and once again they're very hard to win. It's sort of you got to play 2% better every day for 5 games, and there's a lot of rivalry between Australia and England. It's and it makes for it. Like it's when the Barmy Army comes out here, it's just euphoria. It's just fantastic to have them out here, and the atmosphere's just charged the whole time because they don't stop.
Yeah, it's good
But
banter.
that's what
I think the UK and Oz have got a good relationship. I know a lot of Aussies have got at some point got like some UK heritage going on and that as well. A lot of Aussies, we do have a good. I think UK and Aussies get. We always have good banter with sports. I think it's always good fun. You know what I mean?
Yes, it's always the lion and the kangaroo, mate. It's good. I think it's wholesome. I think it's important.
Yeah.
I know that there was a rugby team just come out from London, and I think they cleaned Aussie up 5-0 or something like that. It was all over real quick. So, but it's good.
Yeah.
Can you hear
Rugby's another one.
Can you hear the rain on the roof?
I can't hear now.
No, can't hear it. Oh, that's all right. It's as I said, we've got about 2 weeks, and then this stuff should start to tick off, and we start to get 20 degrees like you. It'll be nice to see the sun again. It's been a little bit wet because don't forget we had no rain right up until podcast 1.
Yeah,
and
in
the last few months we've had plenty of rain, like heaps. So the reservoirs are starting to fill up, which is good because they were getting really, really empty at one stage. But that's going all right.
Yeah, tennis is another one, isn't it? Sport wise, so Aussies have had some decent tennis players over the years. A lot
Pat
more
Cash.
success than the
Yep.
Brits. Yeah,
Pat Cash, and there was the other guy from Queensland that used to do the
Mark
under
Philippoussis.
Philippisis. Yeah, he's been around. There's a few of the tennis guys. There's another new lad, and I do forget his name. He did
The
play.
new one. He's got a crazy. He's a bit crazy, isn't he? And he gets in a mood and smashes the ball away and stuff, and starts
Yeah,
arguing. He's
yeah,
like a John McEnroe, isn't he? What's his
he's
name again?
yeah, he's a bit of a nutsack. That one, he's pretty crazy. But there's a young Aussie coming through. I think Leighton Hewitt might be helping him
Leighton
along.
Hewitt. He was brilliant.
He's got a son playing now. He was at Wimbledon not long ago in the juniors, and he's a dead-eyed dick for the old man. He looks pretty similar, so he's coming through. So I would say within this second half of this decade, he should start to get into the Formula Ones there, as well. So, which is pretty cool. So there's the next generation of all those coming through. Is Andy Murray still playing for?
I think he's retired. I imagine. I imagine he's retired. He's won Wimbledon a couple of times. He's been our greatest player in the last probably 50 years. I imagine. Tim Henman. When I was a kid growing up, Tim Henman, he used to always get to maybe the quarter final or something. He'd never quite get to a final. But Andy Murray, yeah, he was class, like
You
really
see,
class.
he was always up in the top 10, wasn't he? He was very good.
I always feel, I mean, with sports, I always feel a little bit proud when the Brits do well at something because, as an island, as a country, we're so small. So, we don't have a massive pool of talent like America, the US. Huge. They've got 50 odd states. They're massive. They can choose from all these colleges and unis, and it's massive. UK is tiny, so for a tiny little country to dominate the world in something is quite amazing, really.
I think, I
Certain
think,
sports, of course, are typically British sports, like for instance, snooker. Now, snooker for years, it's always been the Brits winning everything. It's just a British sport, but that is changing a little bit. You've got lots of, Chinese and Taiwanese and players from all over the world playing snooker. I know Andy Robertson was an Aussie. I don't know if you know Andy Robertson. He was great. Neil Robertson, sorry, wasn't it? Aussie
okay,
snooker player. Yeah.
okay.
He's won. I think he's won a world championship.
I
He's
think
certainly won some big tournaments.
you've also got you play a lot of darts over there as well too. I know there's a
Yeah.
European league also, isn't there? It's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, darts is a massive sport over here. It's generally, there was a funny comedy sketch in the 70s or 80s, not the 9 o'clock news. They did a really funny comedy sketch on the comedy program. And then the darts players, they were like, going, and when they show the screen doing that, but then he goes, oh, it's a single pint and all that. He goes, triple whiskey and all that, like, just a double vodka. They were just taking the mick because these guys are generally big, overweight drinkers. Do you know what I mean? And they used to smoke. You're watching it on TV. They're smoking ciggies, they're drinking, they're overweight. But now it's seen as much more of a sport, and it's got international now. You've got Dutch players, you've got players from all over the world competing. So it's not just a typically British thing.
What about we did discuss last podcast about some exotic sports. What have you got over there that we don't do over here at all?
Interesting. Well, we should talk about golf at some point. Golf's obviously massive and international, but I should say actually, whilst we're talking about different sports, in the Wirral where I'm from here by Liverpool, our little Wirral Peninsula next to Liverpool, it's almost an island really, but our little peninsula, they call the Golf Peninsula. So the British Open, is the British Opens at Royal Liverpool Golf Club down the road
Okay.
there. So we've got about 15, 16 golf courses in one
Wow.
small little peninsula. So golf's big over here where I am. But I'm just trying to think, any mad sports over here? Well, you get a fair few bowling greens where you play bowls. Do you guys play bowls?
Yeah, lawn bowls is
Like
pretty big. Yep.
lawn bowls? Okay, didn't know you'd be doing lawn bowls over there. Um,
They
I'm
they
trying to think
always
what else.
say if you're gonna try to take someone to court that you never take on a bowling club because they've always got the retired lawyers and all that playing.
That's brilliant. Well, I won't go down there starting any more fights then.
No, not with the bowling greens. No, leave them alone. There's too much knowledge there. But lawn bowls, it's an Olympic event as well. Like we'll talk about golf as well in a sec. But you touched base before on when your country is on the line. Whether it's badminton or whether it's tennis or golf or swimming. Swimming's a good one. Like we're surrounded by water here. You guys are as well. When you go to the Olympics, you're going to get the US, you're going to get Australia, you're going to get UK, you're going to get Germany, you're going to get the Chinese if they're there. But you really root hard for your country, don't you? You love it. You really
Yeah,
you really ingest of your country. If it's a bulldog or a kangaroo or an eagle, whatever it is, when they're standing up there on the bias or whatever, or about to jump into the pool,
yeah,
boom, heart's on your sleeve. Same as the cricket, same as the rugby. And once again, imagine life without sport. Imagine trying to live like that.
When I was a kid growing up, I grew up around here, and then I moved to North Wales, just over the border for a few years as a kid, between the ages 7 and 14. Then I moved back here. But of course, growing up there, I didn't have the internet. So, like when I was living in the village for a few years as a kid, we did have the computer games that were just coming out, all the Mega Drive computer consoles. We didn't have mobile phones or the internet. So we would just literally we'd play sport every day. We'd play sport. I'd play football morning, noon, and night. As a kid playing football. I'd play cricket, golf, tennis, you name it. Any sport, we'd be playing it. I think these days there's a lot of distractions with the screens and the technology and a lot of kids they're on the devices. You know what I mean? But yeah, sport, just competing. These days, I go to the gym, but I love cycling. I love having a big cycle
That's
around the
another
Wirral
one.
Peninsula.
Cycling's a big one with
Look,
the velodrome and all that, and the open road as well. Once again, you look at all
yeah.
the technology in the cyc in the cycling, and that's excluding all the off road, the BMX stuff, and all that sort of gear.
Oh,
It's a different level, isn't it? It's just the technology now at the moment is just supreme with all these sports. We're born at a good time to see where it's got to.
yeah, absolutely. And here, the Wirral, as I say, as well as having a lot of golf courses, there's some great cycling routes. There's a lot of country and nature here in the Wirral. It's a beautiful part of the world. So I love jumping on my bike when I can and having a bike ride. And one thing I want to play more soccer. I need to. 'Cause I'm 41 now. I want to start getting back into playing soccer. I really do. Just need to find more time because running La Vida Liverpool, the magazine, it's so time consuming. But I want to get back into football. But what I do make time to do is I play 9-ball pool, which is American pool. So in the UK, the pool tables are like the small ones you find in pubs with the red and yellow balls. You're gonna
Yep.
pot the reds or the yellows and then the black. So that's UK 8-ball pool. I play American 9-ball pool, which is on the big, and I don't know if I've seen any Aussie players actually in the World Championships and stuff. It's a big American pool table. So when you go to the pool hall, You get the big American style 9 foot big table with a big spots and stripes balls. Now what they do with 9 ball pool that I played on the Pro Tour back in 2006 and beat the rank 6 and the rank 13 in the UK. And
Yeah,
I'm
right. That's
back
good.
playing again now. Yeah, I'm back playing again now. I can play all right. I'm not at the pro standard but um, yeah, 9 ball, all the spots, coloured balls, you're going to pop them in order. So you're going to pop the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whoever pops the 9 ball at the end wins. And you can combo shots. You can knock as long as you hit the lowest ball first. So, it's a very interesting game, 9 ball pool. There's some great British players who've won the world championships. The Americans are massive. The Filipinos, it's like their national support in the Philippines. It's massive. You get, but 9 ball was very much our American players, and then some of the Asians and Filipinos would play, and the British started getting into it. But then it's now just exploded as a global thing. There's good players from every country.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's pretty cool, isn't it? While you were talking there, I was just thinking there was a fort. I'm trying to think it on that European tour we did before we got to you there. There was a country. It's going to escape me, but I know that they were heavily into the 8 ball. It was like the 8 ball capital of Europe, and it's a port. It's a real. It's got a lot of cannons there at the entrance when you go in. It'll come to me
Malta?
next. Hey,
Could you be talking about Malta, maybe?
yeah, Malta, Malta. That's it.
You've got Tony Drago and some good Maltese players. Tony Drago was a snooker player, and he was probably the quickest player in the world. He'd just get down and bang them all in. He'd just get down and pop.
That was a very clean place, man. When we came in on the big ship, of course, and we sort of cruised in, and they've got like 8 or 9 cannons, and it's all sort of limestone. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful port. If you haven't been there, you've probably already been there. But it was a very clean place. It was one that got the boxes ticked for cleanliness. Anyway, it was a very nice port. It was a very clean city. Bit
Yeah.
hard to bit hard to go for a piss anywhere over there because you got to pay a euro for a piss all the time. There were so many places over there where I said to Manny, just make sure you got $3 or $4 in your pocket during the day. If you need a piss, you gotta pay for it. But over here, you got free toilets everywhere. You'd be offended to
Well,
pay for a piss.
you did a great European tour, didn't you? You saw a lot of different places in Europe, and it was so great to have you in Liverpool and New Brighton for 24 hours. Next
Was
time
it?
you come, we're gonna have to take you on some road trips, get out into Wales and the Lake District and some gorgeous places. So we'll make sure it's a longer stay next time, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. And I look probably like Andy and Caitlin are over here, so they're not in London at the moment anyway. He was working in Sydney for a while, and she was as well. And then they've come back to Adelaide because he's just working on a project here at the minute. So they will probably end up back in the UK probably next year, late next year, more than likely. And then we've also got a wedding in Bali next July with one of
Nice.
Mandy's nieces. So of course, then you take a week either side of the wedding, sort of as well, make it worthwhile going up there. And we're staying on a little remote island, for a week up there, either side of the wedding as well. So that's good.
Gorgeous.
I haven't been up there before. I've been higher, but I haven't been to there to Denpasar and all that. So that'll be a new one. It'll be hot as. I'm not a real big crowd person, but I've got to get used to it, mate. I walked around London and Liverpool, so I can deal with it a little bit. But yeah, that's next year. We go off to Tasmania next Saturday for a week. So that'll be real good. I haven't been down there. So there's a lot of good food. Once again, very clean. They get a bit of snow down there. So yeah, there's a few places down there. There's Wellington and there's There's Mount Wellington that looks down over Hobart, and then we'll drive right around the thing. So it doesn't take long. It's probably half the size of the UK, so it won't take long to get us around there anyway. And that'll sort of see us right into almost October. So you're starting to, as I said, get into Bathurst, which is the big car race that we have here for a weekend, and we have a party here, which is fantastic. It's a good show here out the back, barbecues and beer and all the good stuff that blokes like, and noisy cars and old stories that you keep banging around year by year. But how you going? You got most of your books out now?
Yeah, so La Vida Liverpool print magazine. Oh, mate, I've been chocker. So I basically spent working very hard to get the print magazine finalized, working with my graphic designer to get it perfect and getting everything sorted with that. And then basically there's the big job of delivering the print magazines throughout the region, which is 5,000 copies in high footfall venues. So I go out with my mates in car or van and deliver them to every town in the Wirral, Liverpool city centre, surrounding areas. It's a big job. It's about 5 or 6 days on the road delivering the magazines. And then in the evenings, I've got to then catch up on work and catch up on clients and get money back in again. So it's been a really busy time with La Vida Liverpool magazine and doing all the marketing and PR. And I've got my big book festival coming up on the 7th of September very soon. So it's
that's not far away, is it? Really, that's coming with a rush.
It is, mate. So it's busy here, organising Liverpool's largest ever book festival, and then being crazy busy doing the marketing and PR with La Vida Liverpool. So it's a lot of work, mate. But it keeps me busy and it keeps me out of trouble.
Well, you're looking still nice and fit there, mate. So you probably you need to go to Iceland again and have a little break, or zip over to Wales there and go for a bike ride, eh?
Cheers, mate. Definitely. Well, yeah, I'm looking to go to Iceland in October to go to Linda and Björgvin's wedding over there, wedding party. So that'll be a nice little break. And who knows, might even go over to Aussie the next couple of years if we can just not think about the spiders. I'll be all right.
I won't let them near you, mate. Yeah, look, we've probably got a wedding coming up there in the next 2 years. So I think I'll be back. I don't think I'll be back in the UK next year, but it could be late in the year or it could be the early year after, if I can line that up with the wedding, which isn't announced yet. If they do, because Andy's 31 nearly, and like by January, and Caitlin's nearly 29, so they won't be too far away. So if we do get a wedding over there, then that's even a better excuse for me to meet you and go for a ride in Wales for a week as well. So, mate, we said we wouldn't go too long. We've already clocked up 45 minutes, so I better let you go to work for Friday, and I better wind up the beer and the coffee here, and I'll have a look at producing this sometime tomorrow. So good to chat again. I know how busy you are, and it's been busy everywhere, and it's always great to catch up and have a bit of a chat. And
it's an absolute pleasure. It's an absolute pleasure, mate, every time. And, it onwards and upwards with our friendship and our podcasts.
Sure, mate. No worries. All right, buddy. Well, have a good work day. Let's go Liverpool. Let's go Liverpool tonight. So good luck with that one. And I'll give you a call and catch up for podcast 4.
Legend, mate. It's great to speak to you as always, pal.
All right, mate. Take care, and I'll catch you soon.
All the best, Ash. Much love, mate.
See you, bloke.
Nice one.
Bye-bye.
Bye, man.